And we're back on Mimas. I was just noticing that I very often am lucky enough to start the episode during the day. It's not always intentional. There's been a couple times where I waited, but yeah, more often than not, I just luck out. I just got back from a mining expedition. So one of the first things we're going to do here is we're going to set up some more hydroponic trays. I think I printed them near the end of the last episode. And we'll go with 7, and I'll explain why 7 in a bit. I think we'll favor this side. Yes, I have some pipes. So this is going to duck outside a little bit here, and it's going to emit some of its heat. At least I think so. But we should be all right. Let's bring this out a little bit further.
Hunger caution.
And then we'll pipe it up. Actually, that looks a little ugly. Let's bring it a little further. There we go. Okay, so I don't think I've gone over these before. We had 2 of them in the hydroponic supplies Mimas crate, and I printed a couple extra. So one of them is the utility. Both of these can be printed in the hydroponics, the hydraulic pipe bender. And I think I'm going to print a couple more because I've got a purpose for them as well. But the main thing is we need water for these hydroponics trays. And this one starts, both of these, or this one here starts empty. That was the one that was in the tray. But you can just come over to here and fill it in here. Problem is, you do have to unlock it. You can't place the canister in there while it's locked down. Oddly enough, you can lock it down again and it stays in there, but it doesn't let you plug it in while it's locked down. So it looks like it doesn't have any, but I'm guessing there's just less than a liter in there. Yeah, I'm right. So that's not gonna last this much longer. We're going to scroll wheel out and in because my tablet started getting too far away. So yeah, we're gonna fairly soon have to deal with our water situation here, and that will entail the H2 combustor, but we're not quite ready for that. I've got a couple things I need to do first. There we go. Grabbed a little bit more because it outputted into the pipe, and then I just grabbed as much as I can again. Okay, so those we can set out of the way. Now, I'm going to plant all 3 of these, which is probably a bad idea, but we're just going to kind of hope for the best here. Now, it says they're thriving towards fruiting, but that's a lie, because it's not going to grab enough sunlight from there. It's going to need a lot extra. But that's what this grow light is for. So I'm going to go ahead and place that right here. I've got the power connection in the center of them, and this is why it's 7. The light from the power cable or the power connection will emit 3 blocks out. So you've got 1 in the center and then 3 out. And I think it'll also work this way, but we'll test that at some point. That's why I'm leaving a little extra space here. Otherwise, I would just put the canister over here. Okay, now the problem is we need to we need to power this. And in addition, we need to turn it off because plants do require darkness. They can't have light all the time, which is pretty true to life. Okay, we'll come out here. I think if I plant more, I will put kind of a gap here, so I'll just put a liquid pipe. You can see you can place a liquid pipe there. You can cross over cables, which I think we've seen before, but just to make sure it's all connected. Or not quite what I mean, but hopefully my meaning comes across. Especially when I'm doing things, it's tough for me to find the right words. Okay, let's top that off. I'll just leave these cables here. Okay. Oh, it already turned on. That's what we're going to go over here. I've got some code here in this chip already, and a daylight sensor. I've attached the daylight sensor to the circuit housing. This is just in case we end up with more pressure in here, and it might also help for heating or cooling. It'll all depend kind of where we go with everything. Okay, I'll go ahead and let things run in the background still. Usually I would pause it, but we don't mind if those soybeans grow a little bit more. Okay, so yes, as I said, the first dial we attached the daylight sensor, and I've got grow lights defined to the number for those, so that I can do a batch write down here. So yep, as typical, or typical start, yield, standard stuff. We load the horizontal angle from the daylight sensor, and then here we have to adjust it. I set it up so that it ranges from 0 to 360 as far as the calculation of when it turns on and off the grow light. So I have to add 180 because of the orientation of the daylight sensor. If I place the daylight sensor so that the input side is on, over here or over there, I would have to place a different number in there. And I might even have to adjust it from there to make sure, 360 is midnight, according to the code that I have set up here. So yeah, when the solar angle is 45, so that'll be 2.5 minutes past midnight, because it's a 20-minute days here on Mimas. We want the plants to have 5 minutes of darkness. So yeah, that's why 2.5 minutes after midnight. And then this one here is saying 2.5 minutes before midnight. So I just have 360 minus 45 is 315. That's how I get those numbers. So we make sure, it's greater than 45, less than 315. We do an and to get both of those angles or registers, combine them into one for the R0, and then I do save batch for the grow lights, turn them on if it's within that range, or turn them off. And also just to make it easy to check, while I was testing, setting for the dB, so setting for the housing, has that value as well. And if you can see, I mouse over it and it says state 1, which means grow lights are on. Okay. So now this is probably legit, them saying that they're thriving because they have a good amount of light, they have water, they should have plenty of carbon dioxide. A little less than I thought there would be. But if I remember correctly, they only need Oops. They only need like 1% in the atmosphere, but it kind of varies a bit, depending on the air pressure. Okay, we'll grab these cables because we shouldn't need them out here anymore. We'll grab these just in case we need more for a future project I've got out here. Come on, click and drag. It's weird. Didn't want to work. Okay, so we've got the soybeans planted. That was my first goal here. We're running a little low on power, and we're going to go ahead and start running a batch of gas through here. Oh, we've got volatiles in there. Okay, let's try and fix this quickly. If we grab some oxides here, we send those into the furnace. I don't mind if there's extra oxygen. In the system, and because we're going to fairly soon start using this gas. Okay, so that should be combusting, and you can see the volatiles is going down, so yeah, we know it is. I'm going to open that up, which is going to cool down our system here a little bit, which is unfortunate, but it's got to be done because I don't want volatiles in there. If we're going to use this as a base gas, we have to get rid of a lot of, or we have to make sure there's not things such as volatiles, not nitrous oxide. We want carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and O2. And the pollutant we will be getting rid of. I'm gonna take here. Now we've got this drain for that purpose, but we're going to remove it because we don't want it to place that gas, or that liquid into our breathable atmosphere. We're gonna handle that a different way. Okay, that's just about done evacuating. We're gonna go ahead and switch it off. It's close enough. So yes, we remove that drain so that it doesn't emit the liquid pollutant into here. Now, I want to go over something here quick. Import. I'll go ahead and place that back in there. Add this. So this is a simple script. I attach one of the doors and the other one of the doors. Order doesn't matter for this one so much.
Hunger critical.
Hunger critical. I should go ahead and eat a mushroom. So I also attach a switch there. All right. Now up here we have the door door 0 and door 1. We change them to mode 1 on both. What that does is it switches them to being logic based, which means we can't manually open and close them. They'll be exclusive to being logic, which is why I include the switch. So we set the switch to 1. We open it, so that I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, just so I can kind of show you the switch first. So we start it up. Now, when I press it, it doesn't do anything. But if I turn this off, and I turn on this batch writer, that writes to both of the doors to the mode variable. And if we switch that back off, now we can manually control them again. So, okay, back to what the script does. It checks the setting variable for each of them. The setting happens when you press one of the doors. it will say, okay, we want to be opened, and then the logic has to do the math and see what it needs to do, which is what we're going over here. So if they're both equal, I wrote this a bit ago, so I just have to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yeah, so if 0 is equal to 1, or register 0 is equal to register 1, then we put a 1 value in here. If our 0 is a 0 value, so if they don't match, then go back to the start. So just to kind of go over what happens here, and let's grab the configuration cartridge. Oh, I've already got it. Scroll down, you can see the setting. When I press the button, nothing happens on this mode, but if we turn this on and I press it, you can see that it sent a 0 to it when I pressed it just now, but before it sent a 1. So essentially what it's saying is we want to be open or we want to be closed. It's essentially the same setting as the open state, or that's the kind of desired state. So since we always want one of the doors open and we want the other one closed, because this is a simple, it doesn't check the pressure or anything, this is just to kind of segregate two areas, the pressure in two areas. So yes, if they're equal, that means one of them was pushed. So then we load the state of door 0, whether it's open, and we just pick one of them. And essentially, if the check on the first one isn't the one we're looking at, we jump to the other one. So okay, check the open state. If it's equal to 0, so if it's closed, we want to open it. And if that's not the one that we were looking at, then we do door 1 open. Both of them are pretty much identical, except for it just inverts which ones it's looking at. And yes, I'm not sure why they've got the blue text there. The blue text is, you can see R0, and we have door 0. So I think there's just kind of a bug in the way it colors, but everything seems to be working. So it starts with a yield just to make sure that everything, oh, nope, actually up here is where it starts. So we start by closing door 1. Then in this, we have to wait till door 1 is done closing, because I want to make sure that not both of, if both of them are open, there'll be a rush of air going through. And we want to prevent that as much as possible. That's why we're going to close door 1, wait for that one to close by checking the idle state. So if it's not idle, so if it's not equal to 0, then jump back to the beginning. And it'll just keep looping here until that door is done closing. It's pretty quick. It's probably only a few ticks, but just to be sure. Then once that's done, it can continue on. It says door 0, we want to actually open you now, and then clear the setting for both of them. Not sure if I'm supposed to do that or not. Oh well. Sleep for 1, I found that kind of worked a little bit better, just to make sure that it keeps things idle for a second after it's swapped. But yeah, you can, if you listen carefully to me, I'm going to stand by the door so it's a little bit louder. When I click this, the door behind me should close, there'll be a little bit of a pause, and then this one will open. There. So it's not that they activate both at the same time, and that was kind of my goal with that script. But for now, we're going to leave this open because the pressure is the same on both sides. There we go. forgot my order of operations there. Let me check my notes just to make sure everything is good. Okay, we're getting a little cool in there, but that's okay. And you can see, yep, we got rid of all the volatiles. That's very good. Okay, yep, we started sending some air through there. Let's print. Oops. I started typing print because that's what was running through my head. So yeah, you can see here the pipe utility and the canister. Yeah, liquid little canister. That one's the smart variant. Interesting. Does the canister not have the word liquid in it, or did I just miss it? Oh, that appears to be a little bit of a bug, because yeah, we can't. Yeah, as soon as I type L, it removes the liquid canister from the list. Huh. I might have to report that bug. But yeah, you can print the canister, you can print the utilities. We're also going to come in, the main reason we came on here is for an insulated liquid tank. Gotta grab another 20 steel out of our stack of steel. Start printing that. Go ahead and switch this back off to preserve power. And I'll make it clear kind of why we're printing the liquid tank in just a moment. So we're gonna need I'm gonna take these just in case. Grab all this stuff. And I'm gonna need that as well. I will grab that extra one. If we have space. We're going outside, so I will have... I won't have to worry about the suit. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and equip the suit right away. Meant to do that the other way around. Oh, I did forget one thing that we're going to need. Do I have one out here? Just to make it simple. I do not. Oh, I gotta cancel pressurize here still. Okay, we're gonna actually steal that valve because it's not gonna be needed pretty soon. Thought I heard something. Yep, I'm hearing something. Is that? It is. Shoot.
Hydration critical.
That's the exact problem that we're gonna try and solve here. Okay, that released enough pressure, that bought us some time. Let's see if I can do this quickly. I should have grabbed something to drink because now that's going to be buzzing on us, but we got to hurry. Oof, shoot. Now I need to place a pipe down there, and I forgot. Thank goodness I'm organized, huh? Okay, and this should buy us a little bit more time because the reason the pollutant is condensating is because there's a high enough pressure. Having more pipe means less pressure. And the pipe that was creaking, there should be a pipe probably on both sides. Yeah, there's one. We'll fix that later. All you got to do is just uproot it and place it down again. Oops. Meant to jump up and over and didn't work quite right. Okay, so we're no longer going to drain this. What we want to do is we want to hook up right here a condensation valve. Go ahead and open it right away because it won't matter until there's a liquid pipe connected to it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to connect that up. And up here, I'm going to place this insulated liquid tank. This is a horrible place for it, but we'll be moving it eventually here. Now, as the pollutant liquefies in the pipe, this condensation valve will scoop it up and deposit it up here into this liquid tank, which will be an immense reservoir. We won't really need to worry about it. And there are some uses for pollutant, which is why we're going to be saving it. And this was just in case I needed to actually grab some from it, but I'm not going to link it up yet. Just going to leave it hanging there. Okay, now one thing is we don't want this to continuously emit heat. Because then it would start freezing, and if you look at the tablet, no, there's no liquid in it, so I can't see. But yes, you just got to take my word for it that it will. Pipes do emit some heat, so we want to insulate them. If they're in vacuum, they'll emit that heat for quite some time. Okay, there we go. We got that in place. That was one of my main goals here. A lot of this is preparation for later, but also right now, what this will do is help us pressurize more. So let's go ahead and put that cowl in here. I want to get this opened up, but I need more gas for that. I could just crush a whole bunch more of the oxide we got, but you know, we do want to start reusing the furnace gas. All right, it hasn't started liquefying yet. And it's a little bit warm. Let's let that kind of cool down a bit more, and then we'll check on it again here. Come out here. So horizontal is 102. Oh, it's just a little bit past sunset. I can tell by the angle of the solar panels. Speaking of, I moved the solar panels that were in here to the other side. Yep, you can see they even grew a stage. Oh, I had cooked some mushrooms earlier. Oh, it's nice to be able to walk around the base without having to, without a suit. It's kind of funny because I had started focusing heavily on having a suit before the hygiene update. That was kind of neat that it's like, oh, we're gonna give people a reason to do it, and I'm like, oh, I don't really need a reason, but okay. All right, we're gonna call that cool enough. Um, it's technically not quite cool enough, but if we warm the place up a little bit, I don't see that being a bad thing. So we're gonna capture that gas, and yes, the pollutant hasn't emitted yet. Oh, and actually no, I was thinking I had set up a system in here for that as well. Um, I can I can put another condensation valve on here and bring it up to there. So no, right now though we can't. We can't bring that in. Okay, I'm just gonna fix up this pipe then. Can't remember if I've shown that in the past or not. It's pretty easy, just dismantle it, reattach it, and there, 100% again. So there was probably a creaking pipe on that side as well. Let's go ahead and check on that. But it looks like that's pretty much all we have time for. As soon as I finish this, we'll call it good. Kind of the future plans I have. We've got to fix our water problem. Oh, there it is. We have to start getting some water in. But before we do that, I want to do some work here on the Stirling engine room because you can see it's 5 degrees here. We want it to be really chilly in here, so we've got to ramp up the cooling power of our radiators. So yep, fix that problem. Get the radiator cooling ramped up to handle more of this stuff. Then we can start working on the H2 combustor because we'll have to send the hot gas that the H2 combustor gets into this system. And technically, I'll probably use a uh, a direct um, heat exchanger, maybe a large variant rather than the small one. I guess I'll have to see. Um, but yep, that'll cool down the water to a usable temperature. Um, oh, I thought I heard creaking again. Nope, not yet. But all right, I'll get this emptied out, and then I guess we'll see what we're gonna do. Another project that I've got is that I want to expand our solar, but I'll do that kind of as time allows. All right, we'll see you next time.